It's 3 a.m. The world is sleeping, unaware that the backbone of their civilization, the power grids, the water systems, the satellite arrays, is currently being dismantled by a line of code. You aren't in a trench, you aren't in a cockpit. You're in a temperature-controlled room in an undisclosed location, and you just initiated a total blackout of a hostile nation's capital. Most people think cyber warfare is about teenagers in hoodies. They're wrong. It's the silent front of World War III. On this channel, we've looked at the CIA, the FBI, and the front lines of physical combat. But today, the battlefield is digital. This is your life at every rank in a global cyber warfare unit. Rank 1. The Dark Web Scavenger. You start in the dirt. You aren't a soldier yet, you're a ghost. At rank 1, you are a scavenger. Your job isn't to attack, it's to listen. You spend 18 hours a day in the deepest, most toxic corners of the dark web, monitoring encrypted forums where state-sponsored actors trade 0 days, software vulnerabilities that the world doesn't even know exist yet. You have no identity. The unit hasn't officially recruited you. They're just watching to see if you survive the digital Wild West. Your life is a blur of packet sniffing and data mining. You're looking for a needle in a hayfield made of needles. One mistake, one unencrypted ping to the wrong server, and a rival cartel or a foreign intelligence agency burns your location. You don't get a trial, you just disappear. But if you find that one critical exploit, you get the invite. Rank 2, Junior Analyst. You've been brought inside. You're now a junior analyst at a regional Tier 4 security operations center. The transition is jarring. You went from a basement to a facility that requires 3 biometric scans just to get to your desk. At rank 2, your life is a constant state of red alert. You are the shield. Every second, thousands of automated attacks from botnets in Eastern Europe and East Asia hammer your firewall. You aren't hacking back yet, you're triaging. You're the one who decides if a suspicious login is a forgetful employee or a Titan Reign-style state actor trying to map your internal network. The pressure is crushing. If you miss one spear phishing email, the entire network is compromised. You live in a world of logs, alerts, and the constant rhythmic blinking of server racks. You start to realize that in this unit, the front line is everywhere at once. Rank 3. The Breach Specialist, Infiltration. This is where the warfare part of your title becomes real. You've moved from defense to active infiltration. As a breach specialist, you are the digital equivalent of a locksmith. Your job is to find a way into targets that are supposedly unhackable. You spend weeks casing a target. You map their social media, their employee habits, their physical security. You might spend 10 days crafting a single malicious payload disguised as a routine software update. When you finally hit enter, the adrenaline is identical to a kinetic breach. You're inside a foreign ministry's server. You're moving laterally, staying silent, leaving no footprints. You aren't stealing money, you're planting logic bombs, digital mines that will sit dormant for years until the unit decides it's time to detonate. At rank 3, you stop seeing the world in people and places. You see it in nodes and vulnerabilities. You're becoming a weapon. Rank 4. The Black Site Operator. You've officially crossed the line. At rank 4, you aren't just a breach specialist, you are a black site operator. You no longer work in a government building with a badge. You work in the gray. Your office is an unmarked shipping container in a foreign port or a high-rise apartment in a city that doesn't officially recognize your existence. This is where your life becomes a series of zero-day exploits and psychological operations. Your job is to create chaos. You aren't just stealing files, you're changing them. You're the ghost in the machine that makes a rival general's bank account show a balance of 0, or makes a dissident's private communications appear on the front page of the state news. At this rank, the front lines are personal. You spend your nights watching targets through their own webcams. You see them eat, you see them sleep, and you see the moment they realize their digital life is being dismantled, piece by piece. You learn the most dangerous secret of the unit. Information isn't power. Control of information is power. You are the one who decides what is true and what is a lie. Rank 5, the Kinetic Hybrid Specialist. Rank 5 is where the digital world meets the physical world with violent force. You are a hybrid specialist. You are embedded with Tier 1 tactical units, the guys you've seen in our CIA and Special Ops videos. While they are the hammer, you are the scalpel. When they're preparing to breach a compound, you're the one who blinds the building. You loop the security cameras, you disable the electronic locks, and you jam the enemy's radio frequencies. You're sitting in the back of a Humvee or a stealth chopper with a ruggedized laptop, fighting a war of milliseconds. If you fail, the team walks into a trap. If you succeed, they're ghosts. You feel the vibration of the explosions in the distance, and you know that your keystrokes just saved lives, or ended them. You've bridged the gap between the keyboard and the battlefield. You aren't just a hacker anymore, you're a combatant. Rank 6, the infrastructure predator. At rank 6, you stop focusing on individuals and start looking at nations. You are an infrastructure predator. Your targets are the big three: power, water, and finance. Your life is a 24/7 simulation of the end of the world. You spend months finding the one vulnerability in a SCADA system that controls a major city's water treatment plant. You don't trigger it, not yet. You just sit on it. You're a sleeper cell made of code. You live with the weight of knowing that with a single command, you could plunge 10 million people into darkness. You see the vulnerabilities in everything: the traffic lights, the hospital respirators, the stock exchange. You start to feel like a god, but a silent one. The stress is no longer about getting caught. It's about the terrifying realization of how fragile the modern world actually is. You are the only thing standing between civilization and the Stone Age, and sometimes you're the one tasked with pushing the button. Rank 7, the botnet overlord. At rank 7, you stop being a soldier and start being a general of a ghost army. You are the botnet overlord. You don't control one computer, you control millions. From smart fridges in suburban homes to high-end enterprise servers, you have backdoor access to a digital legion. Your life is defined by the swarm. When a rival nation starts a propaganda campaign, you don't argue with them. You simply delete their presence. You command your botnet to launch a distributed denial of service, DDoS, attack so massive it doesn't just crash a website, it collapses a nation's entire internet backbone. You are the reason a country suddenly goes dark on the global stage. You don't sleep anymore. You live on the time zones of your bots. You watch the traffic of the world like a pulse, and you know exactly where to squeeze to make it stop beating. Rank 8, the architect of truth. Rank 8 is the most dangerous rank of all because it's the one no one can see. You are the architect of truth. You've moved beyond hacking hardware. You are now hacking the human mind. Your tools are AI and deepfakes. Your job is to win the war before a single shot is fired. You create synthetic realities. You can make a world leader appear to admit to a crime they never committed, or create leaked documents that cause a military to turn on its own government. At this rank, you are the ultimate puppet master. You live in a world where nothing is real. You spend your days crafting narratives that will be discussed on the nightly news as fact. You see the riots you've sparked and the governments you've toppled from a monitor 6,000 miles away. The psychological toll is immense. You start to wonder if your own life is a narrative crafted by someone at rank 9. You are the invisible hand that shapes history, and your signature is a line of code that deletes itself the moment it's read. Rank 9, the Global Director. You have reached the pinnacle. You are the Global Director of Offensive Operations. You no longer touch a keyboard, you touch the future. At rank 9, your office is the Situation Room. You sit next to presidents and prime ministers. When they ask, "What are our options?" they aren't talking about tanks or missiles, they're looking at you. You are the one who presents the Red Folder, a list of targets that can be neutralized without a single boot on the ground. Your life is a chess match played on a global scale. You know the expiration date of every major power's infrastructure. You know which allies are actually compromised. You are the keeper of the digital doomsday clock. You don't have a name, you don't have a rank on any official military list, and if you died tomorrow, your existence would be denied by every government on Earth. You are the ultimate front line. You are the ghost that keeps the world running, or the one who decides when it's time for the lights to go out. So you've reached the top. You've seen the world through the eyes of the architect and the overlord. But there is a rank that isn't on the official charts. It's the rank you hold when the screens go dark. At the end of this journey, your life is a paradox. You are one of the most powerful individuals on the planet, Yet you cannot tell your spouse what you did today. You've saved millions of lives by preventing a digital Chernobyl, but you'll never receive a medal. Your service exists in the spaces between server pings and encrypted handshakes. The psychological cost is the real front line. You begin to look at every device in your home, your phone, your thermostat, your car, not as a tool, but as a vulnerability. You live in a state of permanent zero trust. You've seen how easy it is to erase a human being from the digital record, and you realize that you are just as erasable. You are a warrior whose greatest victory is that the war never actually started in the eyes of the public. Conclusion: the silent front. The front lines have changed. They aren't just in the mountains of Afghanistan or the jungles of the cartel territories anymore. They are in the fiber optic cables under your feet and the satellites over your head. In the Global Cyber Warfare Unit, there is no coming home. There is only the next exploit, the next breach, and the next rank. You are the silent shield in a world that doesn't even know it's under attack. You are the code. You are the ghost. You are the front lines. If you've made it this far, you're part of the few who understand that the most dangerous weapons in the world don't fire bullets. They fire bits. Which rank surprised you the most? Would you have the stomach to be the architect of truth, or would you stay on the defensive wall? Let me know in the comments. We're building a community of the most tactical minds on YouTube. So if you want to see what life is like at the next set of ranks, whether it's the deep-sea specialized units or the underground cartel networks, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. The world is more fragile than you think. Stay vigilant. I'll see you at the next rank.